Allie whispered, "and none in the kitchen." The study, accessed from the hallway or from the master suite, had been her goal since entering the home. Unfortunately, finding a way in had proved impossible, since Nevsky had almost as many surveillance cameras inside his home as he did outside, and no way to disable them without setting off alarms. The time had come to take her chances, then pray he didn't have any reason to look at the footage before she could slip out of the house once and for all. While her mind grappled with when to act, she swung open the pantry door, then turned back to grab the flour along with a bag of apples, cinnamon, and everything else she needed to make a mouth-watering apple pie, Nevsky's favorite dessert next to baklava. "What are you making today?" Allie swallowed a startled screech and popped out of the pantry to find Nevsky's 17-year-old daughter Daria perched on one of the stools at the kitchen island. "You scare 10 years off of me," Allie said, pressing a hand to her beating heart. "You're young. You can spare them." "Ha! No one can spare 10 years. Are you looking for another cooking lesson?" "Nope." Allie lifted a brow. "Okay." Usually Daria showed up about this time after school, and the two spent the afternoon preparing dinner, as long as her father wasn't home. If Nevsky was home, Daria sketched or painted. But today was supposed to be different. "What are you doing here? I thought you had that field trip to the museum downtown." She glanced behind her. "And where's Gerard?" Daria's bodyguard was usually 10 paces behind her. "He'll be along soon enough." "I gave him the slip." She rolled her eyes. "And I did." "Did what?" "Have a field trip. I canceled it, or at least my participation in it. Because life is short and it's time to live. Take the bull by the horns and chart my own course," the girl said, or something along those lines. "I'm sorry, what?" The teen was forever speaking in riddles, or saying one thing and meaning another. Usually Allie could follow along, but today she'd been caught off guard by Daria's change of plans. Daria grinned, twin dimples peeking at Allie as she swept her long blonde hair up into a ponytail, then hopped down to turn on the sink. She stuck her hands under the water. "I'm going to do the whole thing by myself." She paused mid-lather to frown. "Unless you don't think I can." "I totally think you can. It's just—" "What?" "Well, it's my job. It's what your dad pays me for, remember?" Allie let out a little laugh. She grabbed a few ice cubes from the freezer, dropped them in the blender, and flipped it on. She leaned in close to Daria's ear. "You and I both know he wouldn't approve, and if he finds out, which he will if he looks at the security footage he has going 24/7, then he'd probably fire me. And I don't really care about the approval and finding out part, not the firing part." Daria's eyes darkened for a fraction of a second. She lowered her voice just enough that Allie could hear her above the blender. "He does plenty of things I don't approve of." "Oh?" Allie said, keeping her own voice casual and soft while she pulled measuring spoons from the drawer to her right. "Like what?" she whispered. She cut the blender off and dumped the ice into a glass. Daria shrugged. "Doesn't matter." "Of course it matters." She gave a small, curiously unreadable smile. "Let's just say," she motioned to the blender again, and Allie refilled it with ice and turned it on, "he's not as smart as he thinks he is." "How so?" Daria pursed her lips and her eyes flashed. "He thinks everyone and everything can be bought," she said, her voice so low Allie had to move even closer to hear her. "More than that, he thinks I'm stupid and therefore I'm invisible to him. If I was a boy, I'd be his favorite person, like my brother." Allie blinked. "You don't have a brother." "Actually, I do. He's older and he doesn't live here. I never see him. I think I've been in the same room with him maybe 4 times that I can remember." She doodled on a napkin in front of her. "Truthfully, I'm not even sure he knows I exist, which is fine, since he's just as evil as my father." "A brother?" There'd been nothing about Nevsky having a son in their copious